grade has their own orientation day right before.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 5:30. Lisa, would you do roll call, please?
Mrs. Cantwell,
She'll be absent.
Mrs. Claudia. Here. Mrs. Franklin. Here. Mrs. Kajuti.
Absent.
Mr. Heisman. Here. Mrs. Kelleher.
Here.
Mrs. Russ.
Here.
Mr. Schuman. Here. Mr. Zabrowski. Here. Dr. Macri. Here. Mr. Pisano. Here. Mr. Butler. Here. Mrs. Tomorrow. Oh no, she was running.
She's running late.
Yeah. Dr. McLean. Here. And Ms. O'Leary. Here.
All right, thank you. Moving on to approval of agenda, additions, deletions, chair's review. We mostly have a lot of updates tonight. I did cancel facilities because it looks like we have a larger update coming in September at the full board meeting. So we canceled that for tonight. And public comments are moved to the end because we have so much going on. I thought it'd be best to have Dr. Macri give the updates first. Looks like we don't have too many people here anyway. So is there a motion to approve the agenda? Kelly, second by Alan. All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. The agenda is approved. Correspondence. I did receive a couple of letters for public comment, which I'll mention at the public comment section of the meeting, which I forwarded to you all. Do you have anything for correspondence?
No, I think I could do it in the next section.
Okay. All right, reports of liaisons from Town Council, Board of Finance, Building Committee. You have reference A in your packets. Everything's on schedule with the building. We have the ribbon cutting coming up on the 26th at 4, ahead of the first day on the 27th. Other than that, I don't have anything else from Town Council or Board of Finance. Town collaboration updates. I know Town Council meets tomorrow. Anything you want to share there?
No, the only thing I sent my letter out, then I rethought it after I sent it, about the ribbon cutting ceremony. Just letting everybody know that that'll just be outside. It won't be an opportunity to walk into the building. So if you talk to people that are excited to walk in, I'll send something again. But the way I worded it, I should have thought it through. So, and no, nothing else.
Okay. And then we'll move on to your updates and responses to comments and actions from our prior meeting. It looks like we have a lot of positive news on this agenda, so if you'd like to take it from here.
So I have everyone here. I have all the directors here so that you can ask them questions if you have any regarding any. We're doing wonderfully. Claudio, his team, Lynn, with the middle school. A lot of work, but it's going great. And the other buildings, all the work that's going on in the other buildings, Claudio's here to answer. If you have any questions, he can fill you in. Dr. McLean, we can't tell. We're so excited to write something to you because the data, it's finally here. It's finally happening. What I've been telling you 5 to 7 years, it's finally happening. So if you have any questions for what Dr. McLean put together for you, you can ask. But once it's, right now it's still being held from the state, so we can't share exact numbers with you. We will do that as soon as we can.
In regard to
Test scores.
into test scores?
Test scores, yes.
You missed the test scores piece of it.
Well, the letter that was in the packet from Dr. McLean is what we're referring, right?
That the test score is part of it. That's what I'm so excited about.
Internally, like our preliminary numbers, we don't know how we did in comparison to anyone else, but they're still telling us don't put them out there publicly yet. So I just, kind of gave you guys some highlights, but the data is so good that it was worth giving you guys a little bit of a peek at it because
Everyone's working so hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really, everybody's been working so incredibly hard, and to finally see some substantial gains is really, I think, it's a big deal to us, not to say.
Is your mic on? Sorry, it took me a while to realize.
Sorry, Gary. Anyway, so I just gave you a couple of, I'm not allowed to say, but I said.
We appreciate that. Good news is always good to know ahead of time, and the full results will be more in October, right?
Oh, I think we'll have them I'm hoping that we have them for, at least I can go over it with the administrators at admin retreat, but I think in the next couple weeks they should come out publicly.
Good. Well, congratulations to you, your team, and all the teachers. This is excellent. I feel like it's been so many years where we keep waiting for this to happen, waiting for this to happen. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. Catherine, you had a question?
Yeah, I had two questions. One, you were talking about the packet. Is it just the packet in relation to the fact that she's now the assistant super, or is it the packet related to all the test scores and where we stand with
That
the
one,
data?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And number two, why is the state not allowing you to release any of the test scores right now? What's their reasoning for holding them back?
Well, so what happens is, and you'll see this, and this is what we're always very careful about. We look at data in a couple different ways, right? So you have the kids that attend Cromwell Public Schools, but then the data for our outplacement students is also falls under Cromwell Public Schools. So when we look at it, we look at the kids that are in our classrooms every day, and then there's a certain population of kids that are not in our classrooms every single day, but we're still responsible for those test scores. So there could be disparities between what I'm seeing now as in terms of what the kids that are registered to us, this is how they're doing, but we have other kids that are on our roster that go to different schools, and those will get calculated in. So they don't want there to be a discrepancy between what we're putting out and what is going to eventually be the state numbers. But for us, it's important to look at it both ways. Like
So outplaced meaning we pay for them, not
They're-
students that elect to go to different schools of their where they pay for themselves.
yeah, it could be. Yeah, I mean, it could be magnets too. It could be magnet schools.
Right. We do decide, but usually when we decide to outplay somebody, we pay for it. Correct?
Oh, yeah. Yes. And so that number is different than what our students that are here on campus do.
But that's for every town, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's
every
not
town.
just
Yep,
so.
every town. Yep.
Kelly.
Just a quick question. So because the numbers are fantastic, are the double-digit increases compared to data we have from previous years with outplacement included, or is it a
No,
true?
I'm looking only at Cromwell Public Schools
That's
when I'm
great.
doing these comparisons.
Okay.
This is only Cromwell Public Schools.
Awesome.
And it seats in ours classrooms, and actually we put a little disclaimer on our data presentation that says you're looking at students that are on Cromwell Public Schools campus. Yeah.
Kelly.
Did the SBAC scores get mailed out to parents?
We don't even have them yet.
Okay.
And those don't come until fall. Like I feel like those come in September, October. They send us the sheets that we
yeah,
mail
I was
home.
just making sure. 'cause
Yeah, that won't come for a while, but we have at least we have raw numbers for our own students.
my kids telling your friends are saying they have that.
Yep.
Just one more question. When you do present the data, one of the questions I'm going to have is, are the teachers actually seeing this in the classrooms as they're teaching? So,
Yes, and we've done a lot even recently with, and I think this is something that is always the case. You know, you look at your classroom grades, and then you look at are they meeting expectations on state assessments, and is there a disparity between those two things? So yes, we look at especially the teacher data. That's actually the most important data is the stuff that's happening in the classroom.
So when we present all this data, it's a ton of data, and it's a lot, and it does take a long time. So do you want to continue to do it the way we've been doing it, or would you rather chunk it? Like say, let's do Smarter Balanced at one point, like at one meeting, and then do SATs, PSATs at another meeting? Because then it could be 10 minutes long, you know, each meeting, you're getting a little bit more information, or do you want all of it at once again, knowing we are going to take some of the stuff off that's in-house that we feel we needed in the past to show you the connection between standardized tests and in-house testing, but still it is still timely. So do you want me to chunk it, or do you want me to continue to do it the way we've been doing it?
Thoughts? Anyone? Matt?
I kind of like to see it all together because I like to get the complete picture, and then that gives. I'm someone who likes to take it all in. I have an immediate response, and then I mull it over for a while too. And that's just me personally. So I like to get it all at once, have a kind of a response in the moment, and then chew on it. And then the next meeting, if I have follow-up questions, I'll be able to either get those to you guys ahead of time, or anything like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, I do.
or just
me
follow
too.
up. So I appreciate that we're trying to be considerate of, you know, not having a lengthy meeting because we're going through all the data, but I'd almost rather just know ahead of time, hey, this might be a little bit of this meeting might go 20 minutes longer than normal because we're going to be looking at all this data, as much as it stinks for everyone involved, and I'm sorry for that.
And I
But-
can be better with what I put on
and
that
I mean, it's
agenda
helpful
too.
for us to look at it that way too.
Like, I'll
just 'cause
take
we
stuff
see the
off.
trends.
Well, I also think if there is any kind of linkage between different types of tests where you can say, well, SBAC in 3rd and 4th grade covers this, and then this is how our 4th grade students did at this point. Well, those kids are now sophomores, and look how much growth. You know what I mean? It's easier
Yeah,
to kind
but
of
that's
see
how
it
we
all.
look at
Yeah,
okay.
and there's two real ways. I mean, above and beyond the teacher in the classroom breaking it down by skill, and kind of using it as an instructional practice. Outside of that, we look at two things. We look at the percentage proficiency year over year. So the kids that were in 4th grade last year versus the kids that were in 4th grade this year. What we're talking about, two separate sets of kids. And then the other data point that we focus on is cohort data. So are those kids that, were whatever percent proficient in 4th grade, did we increase their proficiency in 5th grade? And in a district like Cromwell, where you don't have a ton of transients, you can really see how that group of kids is doing, over time. So those are the two biggies for us to look at, besides the teacher skill instructional piece.
Any other thoughts on that, on whether we want to see it all?
I agree with
In one
Matt.
night?
Just
Okay.
do it all at once with a follow-up. As I say, in less words than Matt.
Carrie, is there a way that you're thinking of doing it where you present it like more of an overview the first time, and then at the follow-up go into more detail? Like, what are your thoughts on how you want to
I
present
can do it however, I mean, in overview, I guess at that point we should just do it because
Okay.
I go over it by building, I go over it by grade level, right? Like, you want to see where the trends are by grade. If we're only going to do accountability data, then we're just doing, and I mean, we don't even do our internal assessments as like iReady or things like that anymore. So we don't have all of those pages anyway. So it's really just Smarter Balanced, AP, SAT, and then we do the dibbles for the younger kids. And so, I think we can get it into something reasonable so that you can at least see the trends from year over year and how the kids are doing over time. And I don't think it has to be something that is overly long. So I think I could do it in one.
Okay, sounds good.
presentation.
Kelly?
That's okay.
I believe this is included, but you also include how we are in comparison to other districts.
Yeah, which is what I don't have yet.
That will
Yeah,
come in
but that
October.
will be in there, yeah.
Okay,
When I present to you the real numbers, we always put that in there.
awesome. Thank you.
And the test hasn't changed from years past, right?
I mean, no,
Significantly?
not substantially.
Okay. Any other questions for Dr. McLean? No? All right.
No, you're very welcome.
Do you want to continue with your update?
Yeah, and I have my directors here right now. If anyone has any questions for Claudio or Siri or Michelle, and Michelle does have personnel action, so we could wait. But if anyone wants to know anything about what's going on in the system as far as projects, they're here to answer your questions. So if anyone has any
Anyone?
for
There are
Claudio.
quite a few things happening in the schools over the summer. Do we anticipate all of them will be completed by the start of the school year? And how does it compare to some of the items that are listed in the facilities update?
Great. I'm gonna-
Claudia, do you want to come on
Claudia,
up and answer that? Thank you.
So if I understand the question correctly, no. Everything will not be completed this summer. We have over $1 million worth of projects. Some of them are worth $500,000. We don't get the funding till July 1st. It's impossible to get a $500,000 project in the system and completed during the summer. The benefit of that overall is the town money is good for 2 years. We have started as many projects as we can and are going through them all, and I'll provide an update of the projects and where the status of each one in the capital improvement plan and also the capital projects we have on our LEA plan. We have 2 pockets of projects that we're working on funded in 2 different ways, and I'll be able to update. If you have a question on a specific project, please let me know and I can answer. But there's, I think, almost a dozen projects on the capital improvement plan funded by the city, and then we have another maybe almost half a dozen projects that are funded through LEA that we're working on.
And we'll have more on that in September, I
In
think. when you'll have-
September,
yeah.
I'll update you on every one of those projects. I'll go down the list and tell you where we are with them, how far we've gotten, and what my expectations are.
So we'll plan to have, we have policy that meeting though. Do you want to flip-flop them?
We can. I don't think there's anything. We're going to have so many pressing things with policy because we just got everything. So
Okay,
if we
keep
wait
that
another-
then.
I was going to say we waited another month. It's not going to make a difference. We have so much that's come out from the state.
All
We
right.
could wait and do
We'll do that as part of the regular meeting then. Okay,
The
thank you.
biggest thing I'll share with you is all the schools will be ready to open on time. We're on schedule or ahead of schedule regarding our cleaning of all the other schools. The middle school, the new middle school will also be ready. It won't be 100% complete because they'll still be working on site work and that'll be ongoing. But as far as the building, we'll be ready for the kids. Everything will be working inside the building that's necessary for instruction.
When you say site work, do you mean workers coming in and out of the buildings or
No,
more outside?
There's a
Okay.
lot of work going on the outside of the building. As they're tearing down the old, they're slowly moving across the parking lot to create the parking lot for the Board of Ed, the new entranceway that could be coming in from, is it Raymond Road over there? Well, the entrance where the bus used to come in, still won't be completed for the opening of school, but that work will be ongoing. While we're in the building and staff is there, there'll still be site work going on. The soccer field will have to be rebuilt once that's all done, and so that won't be completed for almost another year.
And Ms. Cochiola did send something out that I could forward to that she sent to parents if you don't have middle school parents who wouldn't have gotten it. Begging parents to please put their kids on the bus because there's only one way to come in with buses and cars until we hope it'll be done sooner rather than later, but we were told January. We're hoping sooner. So we really have to think about safety. So people will be in traffic for a very long time because we have to empty the buses first and then have parent drop off happen. So I just really highly encourage people to have the kids take the bus because they're going to be late to work if they don't otherwise. So I'll forward that to you. Lisa, if you don't mind, can you forward that to the board? Thank you. I knew you would. Thanks.
Does anyone have a question on any specific project?
Nope, I think we're good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh.
For Michelle, but I don't know if it should wait until the personnel report.
Sure, you can. Might as well, right? Michelle, can you come up for a moment?
I just noticed that 3 special education teachers had left, and I just wanted to know if there was like a theme or consistent reasoning or what was going on with that.
Yes, we had 2 special ed teacher positions leave at the high school and then 1 at the elementary school. The elementary school left for personal reasons. It was more due to her own situation going on. The high school, one of the people that left actually left for a position closer to home, and the other person didn't really give a reason. But I have a feeling went to the same district.
Since you're up there, any other questions? And then we'll just, check this one off on the personnel action list.
I'm sorry, I could have skipped over it, but
No,
we
it's-
haven't filled
since she's
those
up there.
positions yet, correct?
I did have a quick question. I just noticed, I believe
No.
this is the secretary at WIS. Sorry, who?
I
Oh,
had just
sorry.
I had just wanted to clarify we haven't filled them yet. I didn't know how confident we
Right.
felt that they would be filled before the beginning of school.
We are hoping, we are posting everywhere. We have it out to colleges, universities. We have it on Indeed, LinkedIn. We do have interviews coming in, and we do have applications coming in. We had a very great candidate. It is a shortage area. So we actually did a survey for the Connecticut State Department of Ed just today in the shortage areas of special education and paraprofessionals, or paraeducators, I should say. And there's a huge shortage for special ed teachers in the state of Connecticut and also nationwide. So we're not the only district in this situation. It's usually special ed or social workers or school psychologists that you're just struggling to find. And I feel that we go through this every year, and especially with special ed, I think they can pick where they want to go, and they can pick how much money they want to make. And there's also a burnout in that area. So.
Some good information though. We had a teacher who decided to go teach special education elsewhere. And basically, if that teacher wasn't making $20,000 more, was really wanted to come back. And so because of everything else, they wanted to come back here, but the $20,000 was just too much and it was closer to the person's home. But if we were able to give them that $20,000, they would come back and take the ride. So that was just really nice for me to hear. So, but she can't.
And the letters, they all wrote like very nice emails to us, just unfortunately they're leaving. But it's just sometimes, we don't know their situation, and sometimes, if it's closer to home and they're gonna be able to make their life easier or their commute easier or their life at home easier, they're gonna take the position.
So there's no specific district that's, I won't say poaching, but they're going to, or it's just they're.
Well, some districts have wording in their contract, and some of that wording is they can give extra money or extra years if it's a shortage area. We do not have that in our contract, but we have, that's something we're about to go into teacher negotiations. Maybe that's something we're going to look at and have a discussion with, because in the past, even in the last year, same thing. I think it was math. We lost some really great math teachers, but we brought on some really good math teachers. And the same thing. There's several districts that are able to add a couple years and extra money if it's a shortage area. So,
Matt.
yeah.
Being a special ed teacher in the room, I can tell you that I just shared this with Dr. McLean. In the last 2 weeks alone, I've gotten 10 emails from school districts encouraging me to apply for their special education positions, and at least 2 of them offered $5,000 sign-on stipends.
Exactly.
It's becoming competitive,
Yeah.
and it's kind of increasing as time goes on.
Except I can't do the $5,000 bonus.
No, and in fairness, when I looked at their contracts, I was like, you can't compete with where I'm at, so no.
No. No. Yeah. But you know what? When people do come here, they're coming for Cromwell's reputation. They're coming for our community. They're coming for our staff. They're coming for our students. So we did bring on some really great staff, and I'm very excited about that.
Any other questions? Catherine?
So the people that we are bringing in the teacher positions, are any of them experienced or any of them returning teachers that had left and come back?
A little of both. One's brand new. 1 or 2 are from a different state and have moved back to Connecticut. Some of them are very experienced, and so we kind of have a range of a little of everything in there.
I see you hired your assistant, and I'm just wondering, that is the secretary at WIS,
Yes,
right?
it is.
But I didn't see a position to replace her position.
I have
Are
to
we-
post it. I still
Oh,
haven't
okay.
posted it, but yeah, I
Okay.
definitely have to
Just
post
making
that.
sure.
So I hope to keep her as long as in there, because the school is my biggest priority, is making sure the school is filled. And so I will post that position hopefully in the next couple days, and then we'll get that position filled. And then once the position's filled, we'll bring that person over to central office.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else from Michelle? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's continue with your updates. Do you have updates on, well, I was thinking about earlier in the month, all the grant funding, and then there's been updates on, the federal money that we're worried about.
So sorry. I'm so worried about it that I forget to worry you about it. So federal funding, first of all, the OCR case. I did get an update, and the update is there's no update. We haven't heard anything from the federal government. So that $1 million that we receive approximately can still perhaps be in jeopardy. We don't know anything of how that's going to turn out, and we could talk about that a little bit when Chris presents. They finally released Title II, Title III, Title IV funding, which was frozen until the beginning of July. But the problem, again, is that we don't know, because that's the same funding. So the same money that we're worried about because of our OCR case is the same money that we were worried about not getting. So we're still kind of a little bit in the worried zone. to say, because it hasn't been deposited into our account as of yet. And until it shows up in our EMS grant system that the money is in there, we don't know. So as of now, it's not there yet.
All right. Any questions on that?
Goes through the state to us.
And there was sort of a schedule of, when it comes out, right? Based
it's
on
always-
which
It's
category
always,
it falls into.
right, and they, yeah.
Start writing grants in the next couple of weeks. It's not really writing them, it's kind of explaining how we're going to fund it.
Oh.
And then they fund us. They're actually 2-year grants. So, you've got one that starts every year, but they roll over.
Any questions? Did you have one? Were you
Yeah, so a quick question about that. So there's you said they released the Title 2 through 4 funding. And some of that we did think was going to be if they were going to withhold from OCR, they would withhold that piece of it.
Yeah, it's all the same money. So that's the interesting thing. Like, as people are happy that this money has been released and they're going to get their money, we can't celebrate yet because we still have this OCR case.
So there was them holding back all funding for the state of Connecticut, like a lot of funding for the state of
2, 3
Connecticut.
titles. Yeah,
Right.
before.
And then there was the pieces of people who were under the OCR, which is us and multiple other
Yeah,
districts.
Canton, Bloomfield, us.
Yeah, Glastonbury, Stonington, or those.
I don't know. Did they actually?
Thought they
get a
were
letter?
included there, but I'm not quite sure. Avon was.
Canton for sure. Canton and Bloomfield definitely. The 3 of us are the students who had definitely been notified.
Okay. And no other word from the state with the communications that we've had from them.
No.
Okay.
Nope. The attorneys said they haven't heard anything yet.
And I just saw your email about our new SRO.
Oh, yes.
So
Yes,
let's talk
so
about
really
that.
excited. We have our new SRO, Elizabeth. SRO Jones, yes. Thanks. Just slipped my mind. She has incredible experience, and we're just so excited to have her on staff. So she will be working part-time at ECS part-time WIS, back and forth, and then Officer Bob will be at the middle school, and Officer Pete will be at the high school. And I'm just thrilled to have all 3 of them here.
I'm thrilled too because that was, a concern last year, and they came through, and we have our 3 back. So
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And you've been wanting. That's why you joined the Board of Ed how many
Yes,
years ago?
makes me
because
very
of that.
happy.
So we finally, everyone understands the importance. So we're really excited about it, and they're loving the fact that they can collaborate together and work so closely with us. We're really, really lucky. Our kids are really lucky.
Good. And one last question I have is just Parent Square. It seems like it's rolled out well. I don't know if it's just me, but if you also have Parent Square as a teacher, switching between the 2 isn't working for me. So well, you have to log back out and log back in every time you switch between. It's not a Cromwell issue. I have to figure it out. So I didn't know if you ran into that at all.
No, I don't have, my kids'
Oh.
district doesn't use it, so I don't have that, but supposedly you're supposed to be able to toggle.
I know it says switch between accounts, but then it's kicking me out and making me log in every time, which
Oh.
I'm sure there's a workaround. Really?
Oh, then we can find out.
You
But
stopped
we can
using the
find
Cromwell
out.
one, you mean?
As a parent, as a teacher, as a
Okay.
board member. Oh, yeah.
There's also a new feature coming, and I'm not sure when it's gonna sort of kick on for Cromwell, but you can actually save the number in your phone so that you know where who it's coming from. Like one number will come from, a teacher, an individual teacher, one will be from, so that everybody will have a distinct number.
Like the alert, you mean, that you get? The notification?
If you save it in your contacts,
Oh.
then it will be, it'll come up as so-and-so's teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it'll easily tell who the messages are from.
And we're still sending everything out via email for now, too, right? Like you said about those bus messages, they're not just going out on Parent Square because obviously some people probably aren't signed up, for the middle school drop-off and everything. It seems like everything's
Yeah, everything goes out through Power School through everybody's email that's in.
okay.
Oh, and district. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Kat,
do you want to update
I
on
have a
Sandy Hook?
question.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We have so many.
Can you go through the differences between Parent Square and Power School?
I cannot do a great job at that, but Carrie can.
So, Power School is our operating system for just about everything in school. Attendance, paper, like you name it, everything goes through Power School. We used to pay for an add-on to Power School that was called Messenger that sent out messages connected to Power School. It happened to be the same thing for Power School and the Messenger happened to be the same thing. We have just switched the company that we're using to communicate. So it's just
Oh, Carrie, is your microphone on? No. Sorry.
Bad at this. So we just changed the communication piece of it. So Power School is a much bigger program than just communicating with families.
Does it still complete the grading and everything else in Power School for the upper level students?
Yes, and hopefully, from what I can understand, and we'll have to kind of fumble through this year to make sure that everything works okay, but it's supposed to make signing up for conferences much easier as well. So that it's an easier process than, it was very clunky the way that we had been doing it in the past. And so this is supposed to be a much easier way to do things like that. And you can, it's just there has more features, like, you know, you can send payments if we set it up. Like, there's a lot of things that you can do, like, to keep track of people that are sending in money for class dues or things like that. Like, there's a lot of features for family and student communication.
also not to pay their lunch bill.
Potentially. Yeah, so actually today was the day. So all of us have been put on teams for, we're talking about, it's called Say Something. It's a free program to schools, and it basically allows students to anonymously report things that they see or notice, or even adults. Anybody can report something, and then it gets filtered through the system and kind of determined what the seriousness is, and then it gets routed to the right people. And so we've made all of our internal school teams, and we've met with the police department, and we've kind of gotten everything put together. And today they called it Tip Tuesday. This was the day when all of us had been trained, and they send us a tip alert, and we all have to make sure that we can get into the system. And so we did that today, and I think everybody was successful. And so I think it'll be great. In the fall, we're only going to use it with kids 6 through 12, and they'll get trained. There's a video to watch so that they can say, you know, download this app, or here's how you get to it, and this is what you might use it for. I just watched it the other day, actually. Grade 6 through 12. Yeah. Did I say age?
Is it still free? Because in the past, I was so excited when I heard about this. It's been around for years. So at the time it was free. It's still free?
Yeah.
Still free?
It's amazing.
Yep, still free. It's all from...
It is amazing because I know students were the ones who reported certain things when my daughter was here at the high school, that some of them are really serious things happening. But they were lucky enough that they had people they could confide in and the confidence to go to those people, but that's not always the situation. So is this something that they can access off their Chromebooks, or is it strictly off of a
You can get it.
personal
There's
device?
a website. There's an app. You can
But they'll have
call.
access to it?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, because I know the Chromebooks lock down certain things, so I didn't know.
No, they'll have access. They'll have access to this.
And it's completely anonymous?
Completely anonymous.
Okay.
Yep.
So can you remind me a little bit about the anonymity, because I think one of the concerns initially was that we might get inundated with like false alarms. How did they explain that they would manage
So what
that?
happens is they have very highly trained people. So when this tip comes in, it goes into the Sandy Hook processing place, right? And then they sort of say can engage with the person that's giving the tip and get more information. And then they say, you know what, there's some legitimacy to this. There's screenshots for, you know, social media or something that really seems important, or this is not, you know, like maybe the biggest thing, but we'll let somebody in the building level know so that they can follow up on it. So they really have like a sorting system for what and who it's going to go to and when. So if it's a life or death thing, it's going to go to the police and to our district level and the building level principal. If it's something that, you know, is just silly kid stuff, then we'll hear about it the next day, and you know, we can follow up. So they have their own sort of ranking, and then sending out where things need to go depending on what the situation is.
All right, excellent. Any questions? Is that all for that was a lot. That was enough, and all good things. Let's move on to presentations and reports of administration. We'll have the budget update from Mr. Butwell, reference C in your packets. More good news.
Hi, everyone. Excuse me. Hi, everyone. Yes, as Mrs. Kelleher said, more good news. We're wrapping up our closing out of the fiscal year. And as the report I submitted indicates, we have a current surplus of about $448,000. This number is likely to increase as we close out our remaining purchase orders and release that money. Our final budget expenditure will fall between 98.3 and 98.8% of the budgeted amount. So really tight budgeting there. The surplus is a combination of our responsible spending and minimal surprise expenses this year. The big areas contributing to our surplus are salaries and benefits, technical services, and student services and reimbursements. These areas are not surprising because they involve the most variables and changes throughout the year. So for example, I know you've heard me talk throughout the year about what percent will we be getting reimbursed at from for special ed excess cost. In January, we were told it would be as low as 59%, and then at times throughout the year that varied, and by the end of the year, it was back up into the low 70s. So, there's a lot of guesswork and projection and prediction, but all of these areas have quite a bit of flex with them throughout the year. So that's where we are at this point. So good news.
Well, thanks for your hard work and for finding, those areas that we may have missed before. I think you referred to it. Reimbursement for student services. And just wanted to ask you, I don't know if this really falls into this, but we were worried about the costs for energy at the middle school with this excess. I'm just wondering, do we have to still worry because we're not sure what it will be, or are we in a better position because now we have the solar panel project that was approved? Remember we were talking about the energy costs, and that's my
So
one
we're still
concern.
in the influx. Okay, so we know the solar panels got approved, but they're not going on until when, Claudio? I'm sorry.
March. Oh.
So that means from now until March, and then of course just walking through the building, running through the building. I love that place. You get all your steps in. It's so great. There, you could just see it's going to be more expensive. Obviously, it's new. The air conditioning is really actually running and working. I said that to Claudio and I said that to Chris. I'm like, oh God, I am really a little nervous about getting the electricity bill, this month. But we did account for in the budget the number that we were given.
Okay.
So we could talk about, and we can start right now, with that $478,000, there are a few things that we have to think about, right? One is we don't know anything about that million with OCR. We have no idea what's going to happen. We also, any type of bills that come with the new building, right? Things that we have noticed, particularly with the situation we just talked about. That could also be an issue. Special education, I'm so grateful every star aligned for us. We just had a great year, and those of you that have been on the board, and all of you have, that has not been the case. We've closed out the year with $1,700, and we've been in the hole with special ed, which that wasn't necessarily the case. So that, and then finding how we could get greater reimbursed. So Chris, thank you for everything you've done to figure that out. Sari and Chris have worked really hard together to make sure we get our maximum reimbursement rates for student services. But at the same time, we are in we don't know state. We had a conversation quickly with the Board of Finance, and we talked about perhaps contributing money to the track. It is up to you. I think it's a great idea to contribute to the track, but I want everyone to know that these are the unknowns right now. We don't know where we fall with those. To me, the scariest thing is the OCR case. So I guess that's a conversation that we can continue to have. We do have this account. It changed last year. We could just put up to 2% into our account. We don't have to go back and ask the town for approval. So it's in there. How we want to use it, what we think is best. you know, do we take a gamble? Do we gamble and use some of it for the track, but then we don't know if we're actually going to get that funding? It's up to you.
So this really shows how volatile our budget can be.
Oh.
I mean, you just never know when it'll turn around. But I do recall those conversations during the budget season, and I think it would be a show of good faith if we talked about at least considering some of the money toward the track, because I know there's a lot of interest in repairing it from the Board of Finance and Mayor Demetriadis. I know it's in the works on his end too. So one way or another, hopefully it gets fixed. And I think I would consider that something positive we could do to show that we're working together like we have been. Did you have a question, Catherine?
I have a couple questions. First is this is a good number to see sitting here. We're lucky. I'm assuming we did not have many, which I think every year that I've been on the board, we've had multiple people move into district that required special services that took larger chunks out of our budget. We have a much lower homeless population, which I believe we knew we were going to have, so we didn't budget for as much. I can't remember if it was for this current year that we're closing out or it's this upcoming year, because the current year we're closing out, we were unsure because it was still high at, a year ago we were still sitting at a high number. So I'm assuming that some of that is where we were over budgeted for, so to speak. And also the difference in the reimbursements where we thought we were going to have much lower, I believe we budgeted for a lower amount of reimbursement rate, knowing we'd have to pay the difference. It's shocking to me that the state can't give us better information as we go through this process, because this has got to be one of the biggest jumps we've ever seen in reimbursement rates. And I'm wondering, do we have an estimate, Chris, of how much that is between what we were told in January and the end of year?
We were talking about trying to find the data, and Chris has it. In 32 years, I've never seen someone say you're going to get in the 50th in January and then bring it back. I've never seen this ever.
No, it's usually a couple percentage points.
It's usually, and if it's even 6 percentage points,
That's
you're
a
like,
lot.
okay, you expect it, but this was a really rough year. But Chris did go digging for that material.
Yeah, there were multiple messages from the state throughout the year, and so January was sort of the low point at 59, and then maybe it might be 60, maybe it might be this, and then there was, if you recall, there was quite a pushback in the spring about the lack of funding from across the state, and the state dug deep and found additional funding to put back into the reimbursement account. So I think what you're asking is we ended up at about 72% this year. So we've swung from as low, we thought we were going to get 59, and our actual reimbursement is
What's
in the low 70s.
Not the percentage difference, but the numerical difference of what we would have been reimbursed if we were at 59 versus 72?
I don't have that number in front of me, but
Okay.
It would be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. It would be
Okay.
probably something $200,000 to $300,000.
Okay.
And so another thing that I think is important, we try to figure it out, of course, but the state, when they send us notice that we're going to get 52%, they actually send every district and tell us that numerical difference in change. So we're not just having to come up with this on our own. They say this is what you're going to get, and then we readjust, and then we readjust and readjust. But it turned out great, thank goodness. And all of our kids got their services.
So are those the three big drivers that gave us this number at the end of the year? Is that what you're saying? I know it's usually the drivers of our budget, but is this what drove this number to be what it is this year?
The ones Chris just said: salaries, benefits, tech services, student services, and then of course the reimbursement changing so many times, yes. And they all fall in the same categories as our drivers.
So where is that money sitting right now?
It's still sitting in the town fund.
Okay.
So our goal will be over the next weeks to close everything out. Excuse me. So that there's zero encumbrances, and so we actually know what the final bottom line for the year will be, and then we'll be able to give you an exact number. This is what the end result will be, the surplus will be, and then I would assume the board would want to move it into their board account to hold that surplus, and then you can make decisions.
When did you
You know,
expect that to be? I'm sorry.
I would, during
September?
August, we're trying to close right now, so I would hope by the next Board of Ed meeting, I can give you the number.
Any other questions about Chris's report?
I just have a comment. As far as the surplus that we have and the track work being typically a CNR expense, I think it would be prudent to discuss that with the Board of Finance, especially hearing some of the Board of Finance's concern at a recent town committee meeting. So just, not knowing where the OCR funding is going to happen and how that's all going to shake out, I think it would be, they should be involved in that conversation.
It's my understanding that was the one thing that wasn't part of that, and it was going to be handled outside. That's what I was under the impression of. Is that right, Claudio? That's not on the list, right? Yeah. Okay.
Correct. I'm just saying the amount of 275 would typically put that on that
In the
list.
normal process, yeah. Yeah, I just worry that if we go through that whole process, I don't know when it'll happen. And I know there have been some other ideas tossed around, so I do think we should have a meeting about it. Maybe not a full tri-board meeting, but some discussions after we know the number that Chris comes up with.
Also, along Steve's point, we applied for the grants for the tracks and twice, and we didn't get it. So something's got to be done. So whether it's that or, making them more aware that we still don't, I mean, they know we don't know anything about the OCR. Unfortunately, we have no idea when we'll find this information. So I do think it's a sizable amount that we should have multiple discussion. Well, we should have discussions not just with our board, but with Board of Finance. I know we don't give the money back, but they should have a say because they, and how we, should.
This does fall within the 2% of ours, though,
It
right?
does.
Okay.
Yes, but it's everyone's money, right? It's your money. It's you live here. It's the town's money. The only thing everyone has to remember are these unknowns. And then I believe that the town, we're in a situation, that if God forbid something terrible should happen, that we would then, the town would have to, if we spent it on the track, let's say we spent all the money on the track and we had a federal situation. As a town, we are responsible. So what could we do at that point?
Catherine just brought up the grants, but did we ever hear anything back from the letter we wrote?
The first meeting was deferred to another meeting, and then I was told that no, there was no action taken on it.
It was such a good letter, so I'm surprised. Second question, and this is just to clarify. So I know Board of Finance, the Board of Ed budget can never go down. It always has to go up. Is this 417? Is that our budget, what our given budget is, or is it does this 417 get added into it for next year? No. It's still like
I
the
asked
true
that same
budget.
question.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Just one more thing. Just want to thank Chris, Enza, and Carrie for meeting with me today to discuss the budget presentation, and I'm going to put forward some suggestions to the board on how to improve that process moving forward.
Anything else? Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, under new business, we have approval of our lunch price increase, reference D in your packets. Any questions on that? We do this each year pretty much. We do this each year,
Yes.
and it always goes up.
Well, not every year, only when we increase. We haven't increased, I think, twice since I've been here.
Okay. Any questions on that? We're using all the same vendors and everything. It's just an adjustment, an increase in the prices, but same vendors.
It goes out to, it puts everything out to bid, but I'm pretty sure the same people are providing us with,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Any questions? Is there a motion to approve it? Motion. Kelly? Alan, second. All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Lunch price increase is approved. Approval of out-of-state field trips, reference E in your packets. Any questions on those? There's two of them. One to the Bronx, New York for, the Bronx Zoo, and Newport, Rhode Island, which is a reoccurring trip for the high school. Is there a motion to approve those?
Motion.
Catherine, second. Kelly, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. They're approved. End of year board reports, we have one. Thank you, Kelly. Reference F in your packet. It captured our year very well. We don't need to approve that one, but thank you for doing that. Lori's will be forthcoming when she returns from vacation. Action, approval of minutes and motions from our June 3rd regular meeting. I think, Kelly, were you absent at that one? I have that down here. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion.
Catherine, is there a second? Matt, all in favor? Opposed? And Kelly will abstain. Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Approval of our minutes and motions from the June 17th special meeting. I have that Catherine and Matt were absent from that meeting. Is that right? Okay. For the others who would like to approve those minutes. Alan, second. Kelly, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Yes, and Matt and Catherine abstained. All right, item F, action, stipend approval, reference I in your packets. Oh, good, because I'm missing mine.
I did print it.
I have it somewhere.
Do you need it? No. Thank you. I just wanted to know if, just confirming that these are all, that none of these are new? Yep, okay, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
All right, is there a motion to approve the stipends? Catherine, second. Kelly, all in favor? Opposed, abstentions, motion carries, stipends are approved. And then we have our informational HR personnel activity report, which we already went over, so we're all set with that. Policy committee will meet next meeting, and facilities and technology committee will meet the meeting after that. Topics for future agendas, possible action to approve additional topics. We talked about the update, grounds and infrastructure update for September. The budget calendar will set then, and then we'll go over test scores, hopefully in more depth at the following meeting. Comments, updates, and announcements from board members. We'll start with Dr. McLean, since she's new to the table. Anything you'd like to comment on? Okay, Matt? Alan?
We talked about, in terms of the lunch, having problems there, and I guess there was some issues about parents, like not acknowledging it. And I know that we used to use, DocuSign, and you used to be able to, have to initial certain sections and things. And yeah, it's not a contract, but at least it was some kind of acknowledgement. And when we communicate, we talk about using the system like that. That's
Is that something?
Do you want to come back up, Chris? I'm sorry.
I'm not sure.
Is anyone else?
I mean,
used
if you,
I use it.
Yeah.
if you're the right person to answer this.
I know, I'm not sure. You would have to get. I think you're.
Yeah. It's,
We don't have it.
I mean,
I don't understand your question.
there was a talk about with the lunch money. I think we were at a union meeting or something like that. We were going just a round table before the meeting, and it was talking about that parents didn't realize, oh, I thought it was still free and this and that, and they were responsible for it. And it's not a contract. It's an acknowledgement that, hey, you're responsible for this, and you basically, it's that communication with the parents that acknowledge that, yes, and they have to initial that.
Like when you go
that
to
section.
the doctor's office and you say, okay, this is my insurance,
Right.
and if there's another cost, I agree to pay it,
Exactly,
and you
yeah,
sign
that's-
off on it.
it's that type of.
and I don't know if this is a capability, but I was joking about Power School before, but like, is there a way people could log in and see what their balance is, that you guys could go in and update
good
or
idea.
do notes like that in there? So when they're going in and checking things?
I don't know if that's definite, but I think it's possible that Mosaic, which is the software that we use for the lunchrooms, can talk to Power School.
Okay.
So I could look into that for sure.
Or to Parent Square or something, and then it just,
one of the
right- right when they
Power
open it,
Square,
it's
said
there.
Power School,
Yeah.
either all- yeah,
Yeah.
whatever, one.
It just might save time from chasing around as much, for funds.
Good idea.
Didn't we have something that told what the lunch account was?
Well, you get an
The
email.
lunch balance?
You have to,
They
go
have a
in to, like,
login.
pay the lunch thing, but it's not in those,
You have to open the email and go to that system.
and it's a completely different, like.
Right. Oh, you're wondering if we can link that system to where we are?
So like if you're getting updates and emails each week in Parent Square,
They can get updated.
pull in the balance and have it on the
Having it almost
profile.
there if you're in the red.
Right.
Chris has
Yeah,
had
or like in
personal-
Power School, a big red banner on the top, you know.
Delinquent.
It's
you
even
know.
it's even worse than that. They get a phone call from Mr. Butwell or like a personal phone call. It's nothing is working. Nothing is working. We'll
we
try.
are talking with the food services department about. I know when I talked about this in the spring, like we started using some voice messages during dinner time to alert parents to their high debt. That seemed to be effective, but we're looking forward to Parent Square because, you know, I think it's a lot more flexible in terms of just sending the e-blast, you know, because you're getting like a text message or a message that you're more likely to see. So we're planning on sending out a lot more messages a lot sooner regarding students who run up debt. Sandra Shaw, the coordinator, already sends out automated emails when their debt hits $10. It already sends out an email, but unfortunately a lot of people don't, you know, manage their personal emails or don't see it, or it goes into spam, you know, so they're not aware of it, so they're very surprised. But we want to cut off that phone call where we're like, your child's at $100 of debt, and they're like, we had no idea, you know, even though they've received probably 25 emails about it, but maybe they never saw that. So we want to try to use Parent Square as a better, more direct communication tool.
Good suggestion. I like that, it being right in the profile when you open it up. Maybe not even a separate message. It's just there if if you're able to do that. Worth looking into. Thank you. Dr. Macri, did you have anything? Oh, okay.
Today. I just am just so extremely grateful and happy that the third SRO is in place. And I just want to acknowledge this has been like 4 years in the making, going down from 0 to security guards to, it's just been so long. And I really want to thank the police department for their partnership with us and working with us and coming to the table with different solutions when we asked for them. So I just wanted to celebrate that because I think that's an amazing win.
Anything you want to share? Catherine? Nope. Kelly? Steve? All right. We did have public comments. I received a letter from Timothy Lutz, who's a former student, asking that we look into our food policy specific to celebrations in class. You all have a copy of it. It'll be included in the minutes. I forwarded it to Lisa. Dr. Macri has a copy. He felt strongly about allowing students to have their birthday celebrations in class celebrated with some kind of food, which hasn't been the case for a long time. So if the policy committee is interested in looking into that, I'll leave that to them. He also followed up with another email. I'm not sure if you had a chance to read it, but it was related to field trips, and he had a couple suggestions for field trips, which I also included in the minutes, and I forwarded to Dr. Macri and you all, and feel free to share that with ECS. I believe that's what they were specific to. So that's all I had for public comments. Is there anyone else here for public comments? Though I do have the rules here. If anyone would like to make a public comment, I'll read the rules. If not, I'll spare you. Anyone? Okay. All right, then at this point, meeting is adjourned at, 6:30.